Oh hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and share. If you like coconut shrimp, this will be the dish that I think you will enjoy. The dish is extremely simple and is a lot of fun to cook. The first thing I enter the kitchen is that I thaw out some shrimp in some running lukewarm water. The shrimp that I use come from Sam's Club. They are large raw shrimp. They are already peeled, deveined, and without tails. Shrimp processing has become so good. They are all frozen individually. They call this process snap freezing, and they really retain their original quality. For the sauce, I'm going to first start out with some of my basic seasoning mix. I then add a small amount of sugar. And then I add some cornstarch. I'm going to use it as a thickening agent for the sauce. I add a small amount of water, probably about 2 tablespoons to create the sauce. This part is often a little bit of a try and error. However, you can always make the final adjustment later on. To provide saltiness as well as to give the sauce some color, I'm going to use some soy sauce. So that's about all it takes to make up this sauce. So I'm going to mix it up. Of course, how can you go picking up this sauce without adding some coconut? So here I add some coconut flake to the sauce. Making a sauce is relatively easy. In fact, you can use this as a template to make other type of sauces. The fun part is to make adjustment to this basic template so that you can come up with a sauce of your personal preference. Next, I'm going to coat the shrimp. I'm going to start out with an egg. The egg will allow the binding of the cornstarch and coconut to the shrimp. Here, I add a small amount of egg to the shrimp, just enough to coat them. You don't want to coat the shrimp too much. You just want the shrimp to be slightly wet. This gives the cornstarch a chance to bind to the shrimp. So here I'm going to use about 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. And you can use a little bit more or less depending on your preference. As you can see here, because the shrimp is wet and so it binds to the cornstarch readily. And if you don't want to use the egg, you can add a little bit water instead. To give the shrimp coconut flavor, I'm going to add some coconut flake to the shrimp. It turns out the cornstarch and the egg is really important for the coconut to be attached and bind to the shrimp. All I need to do now is to mix everything well. And it is a lot of fun to create this coating, and it really takes very little time, just a few minutes. To me, the most enjoyable part of home cooking is to create dishes based on ideas that you have in your mind. I'm going to cook this dish in my Cucina 14-inch stainless steel wok, and I spot season the wok before I start. If you want to know more about the spot seasoning method, you can take a look at this video. To cook this dish, the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to fry some carrot. I love carrot. Not just that it adds flavor to the dish, but it also adds color. I find that when you fry carrot like this, it greatly enhances the flavor of the carrot. It is due to the Maillard reaction, and also because carrots contain sugar, it will cause the carrot to caramelize. And then when you fry it long enough, it causes the carrot to char slightly. These are the 3 elements that embody wok chi. This is the great advantage of frying the carrot before you start to cook anything else. Next, I'm going to pan fry the shrimp. This is also a method known as shallow frying. Basically, I fry the shrimp on one side first until it is nicely browned. The coating of cornstarch as well as the coconut will cause the shrimp to brown rapidly. This is the embodiment of wok chi. First Maillard reaction, followed by caramelization, and finally some charring. It only takes about 30 seconds to pan fry one side of the shrimp. And when you turn it around, you can see that the shrimps are already start to take on those characteristics. Again, with stir fry, because everything happens so quickly, you can pretty much control how much you want the ingredients to be cooked. By now, the shrimp is about 50% done. And next, I'm going to add some asparagus to the wok. Asparagus cook very quickly, particularly if you want to retain the crispy texture of the asparagus. But now I switch to my wok spatula so I can stir fry everything together. And finally, I garnish the dish with some color bell pepper. And the reason I add the color bell pepper toward the end are because I do not want to cook them too much. I'm going to use them mainly as a garnish. By this time, I turn off the heat. I'm going to add the sauce to the wok. By a quick few stir, I mix the sauce, and this will cause the cornstarch to thicken and create a nice sauce. In this case, I create a relatively thick sauce. I want it to coat all the ingredients. Okay, the dish is done. The total cook time is less than 5 minutes. I have achieved what I'm looking for. In this case, the sauce provides a very nice thick coating of the ingredients and to give them great flavor. This dish is tremendously fun to cook, simply because I do not cook this dish as a recipe. Instead, I use a template. And when I cook this dish again, it probably will not be the same. To me, this is the pleasure of the fast cooking system. With flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking, you can cook almost anything you want. I post a new video every day to help you to both understand as well as to adopt my fast cooking system. If you enjoyed this video and find it useful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow.